Okay, so there's one other thing to talk about when we do, kind of the triangle basics with finding angles and sides and stuff like that. And that has to do just with isosceles triangles. Um, Hopefully you remember an isosceles triangle has two equal legs and then two base angles that are also equal, or congruent, I should be saying. So a type of question you might get would be something like this, where these tick marks, remember, means congruent, and so then you know it's isosceles. So you know those two bottom angles should be the same, meaning that you know y is 56 automatically, just because they're on the bottom. One thing to note, before I forget to say this, is just that, say green. Oh, that's not going to let me do that, maybe. Boom. No. Interesting. Well, what you've got to remember is just that the base angles, which are the two on the bottom, across from the tick marks, the ones are the same. So it would never be the 56 and the x are the same. They have to be across from the congruent sides. So we know that's 56. And now it's just easy because we do it the same thing way we did before. You add 56 plus 56 to get 112. We know a triangle has 180 degrees. So we do 180 minus 112 to get 68. And we get x equals to 68. Conversely, you might sometimes be asked to look for the sides of the triangle. And so how that works is if there's those two little marks that say these two angles are congruent, then you know those opposite sides are congruent. And you can just set them equal to each other and start solving by getting the x's on the same side. And remember, always move the smaller x because it's easier. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides because that's the opposite of positive 5x. We get 4x plus 2 equals 10. Subtract 2 from both sides. Get 4x equals 8. Divide by 4. X equals 2. And then you should plug those in because you're always looking for the sides, not just for x, usually. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. Check the other side too. Oh, apparently I didn't check the other side. Interesting. I've done a bad job there. But you should check it the other side. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. Weird. So the next type of question I might give you would only give you the top angle, and you're looking for those bottom angles. So this is going to take a couple of steps. So the first thing you should know is, since they all add up to 180, well, actually there's multiple ways of doing this. You could just set them equal to each other because they're base angles. Subtract 4x from both sides. Negative 1x plus 8 equals minus 11. And I did it differently this time just so you can see that it doesn't matter which x you move. I just like to avoid negatives. Subtract 8 from both sides. You get negative 1x equals negative 19. Divide by negative 1. X equals 19. And then plug them in. 3 times 19 is 57. 57 plus 8 is 65. Other side, you get 76. 76 minus 11 is 65. And then just double checking. This is what I was thinking beforehand. 65 plus 65 is 130, and then 130 plus 50 would be 180. The other way you could have done this is done 180 minus 50. That would have given you 130. So you would have known those two bottom angles total up to 130. And then it's divided it by 2 since you know those two angles are congruent, and you would have gotten 65 as well. So that's just a double check. So that's always something you can do, and that is it.